One of the questions I get asked a lot, and I'm not the guru on it. I've done quite a bit of recruiting in my day, and I'm still educating myself, and I always learn something new, right? And I am curious, when you get the Indeed ad placed, somebody responds to it. You get their resume first, right? From their resume to the interview questions, what are you looking for to hire a door-to-door person that's going to have a lot of potential to stick around?
That's a great question, because you have to look through. So I just got asked this the other day. I don't care what you're great at. You can be there are companies in our industry that are all former addicts. There are companies in our industry that the president and CEO serve time, right? And they come out, they rehabilitate, and they run successful companies. There are people that were the Madden champion of their dorm for 4 years running. They were the best skateboarder on the block. They, were a college athlete or straight A student, a concert pianist. Anything that you can find that is a repeatable habit that they had to practice to get good at tells you they have the discipline to get good at something. They just have to decide if they want to apply those disciplines and those lessons to your job. And this is right in the middle of this with my 14-year-old right now. Where he's a perfectionist and he's a 5'8", 180 pound strong kid, hit a ball a ton. And the better he gets, the more pressure he puts on himself. And I constantly telling him, all we're trying to teach you is the extra work is the discipline necessary to get ahead in life, right? Coach says to be there at 3, we're there at 2:30, and we do 30 more minutes of work, and we do that every day. That means at the end of the week, we have 2.5 hours more work. So you get out of college and you want a job and there's a promotion up for it, your instincts are going to be to show up early and stay late. And so we're trying to teach them the discipline necessary to be successful. So if I can ask enough questions to find out the one thing they became addicted to because they wanted to be addicted to it, again, they can be a recovering addict, 10 years sober. Well, at one point they had an addictive personality. You can use that on a positive way to show them a way to have an addictive personality towards success. This a couple of years ago, I was doing some consulting and I was working from home. I was actually doing firsthand recruiting. I was the one running interviews. I just needed to work from home for 6 or 8 months, take care of some family stuff. And so I just called a guy I knew. I said, hey, this is what I can do. He's like, hell yeah, let's go. And so I get on the phone with Eric, and is the recruit, and he's out in front of a place in Vegas. And I'm like, what are you doing right now? I was like, I'm the guy on the street that gets people to come in so we can sell them timeshares.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how much rejection do you deal with every day? A ton.
Man, be awesome.
Right? What's the one thing you were passionate about in life? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I was a competitive weightlifter. I'm like, this is great. And then I said, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? And by the way, the way he was doing the video, he looked like he was 7 feet tall. He ended up being like 5'6", right? And he's like, I'm doing it right now. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm living in a shelter.
Oh.
Right? And so we talk about that. I hired a guy on the spot, right? I said, I just need to know that you can get to this place for training 3 days in a row. He's like, I'll sleep there. Like he was like, I'm in. Well, within the first 2 months, we got him his own apartment. We got him a expensive hotel to stay in for like he succeeded, right? Set some points for solar, made some money. And then after 2 months of living in an expensive pay by the week, he got into his own apartment. Then he got recruited away from us, right? And then he worked for AT&T, got a salary job. Like I have so many stories like that where people wouldn't even get even hired because of their situation. But I just knew, right? If he was clean and sober, which he was, he just made some bad decisions, but he had this personality where he could deal with rejection and he was willing to work hard. Yeah. And at the time, solar was the perfect thing for him, and he crushed it.
That's one of my favorite questions to ask somebody in an interview is, tell me about a time in your life where you did something challenging. How did you overcome it, And everybody, I think, prepares for an interview, and they have all the softball answers. They really take some time to think about what would I say in all these normal interview questions. When I ask that one, I think that's when I've seen the teary eyes and the reason for being there really comes out. You know what I mean? And why I want this job so bad, and what I've done in my past and and it really tells me a lot about that individual and what I can expect them to do if we did bring them on.